Holy smokes, it's been a long time, but we're back at St. Joseph's School in beautiful Dryden, Ontario for another edition of FHL Game of the Week. The Whalers are taking on the Stealth today. What do you think about that, Jackson?
It's gonna be a slobber knocker.
Couldn't have said it better myself, but we know that the Cup isn't won in November. We're gonna be heading down to Vicky and Peyton at rinkside.
Chase, your goaltending has been solid this season. What is the missing piece of the puzzle to picking up some wins?
But just motivating the team. Offense would be a big part of it, but just trying to keep it up.
What is the game plan for today?
Just put shots on net and just work hard.
Thank you.
Mason, the Stealth are due for a W. Your scoring is starting to inspire the team to improve. What else are you doing to get the Stealth fired up?
You just got to tell them to keep on doing what they're doing and just to play hard.
What is your game plan for today?
To get some shots and try to get them on net and try to score.
Okay, good luck today.
And welcome to Game of the Week. It's been a long time, Mr. Skillen.
Yes, we've been away for a few weeks, covering some European hockey.
Absolutely. We've got two teams that are kind of near the bottom of the standings right now. The Whalers taking on the Stealth, as you can see on your screen. There's our starting lineup, brought to you by St. Joseph's School Parent Connections. What do we have to say about any of these individuals for the Whalers?
Well, the Whalers, they got Chase Furlong in the pipes. He's at about 2.75 goals against, good for 6th place overall. And their leading goal scorer, Andrew Brandt, 7 goals, tied for 7th place in the league. And over with the Stealth, you have Jacob Howarth in the pipes, 4 goals against per game. And their leading goal scorers, they have a plethora of scores, but they got Mason Applin leading with 4 goals, Nolan Gill and Chase Moline with 3 apiece.
And we're down to the action here. There's Andrew with the puck. Turns it over to Mason, and we are once again underway. It's good to be back. The Whalers, who get 2 games this week because it is their game of the week, starting with these latest games. Whoever's game of the week is, they get to choose who they're going to play, if they're going to play their first opponent or their second. Slated to play actually today were the Bruins. So you had GM Brett Karen a little bit nervous about taking on Josh Blackman and those Bruins, so he chose to go with the Stealth instead.
Well, both teams kind of struggling out of the gate this year. The Whalers are 1-5-2, and the Stealth are 1-8. So both looking to get that second win of the season. So it should be quite a battle today.
Absolutely. Not for everything that we said about parity at the beginning of the season. There's definitely some disconnects between top teams in the league and bottom teams in the league. Right now, you've got the Whalers only with 5 points, and you've got the Stealth only with 2. They've only picked up one win. They got a point for that. No ties, no shutouts. So as you know, 1 point for a shutout added on to your points total. And nothing too wild and crazy yet happening. Lots of shots. The Stealth looking a little bit more active than they have in the past.
Chase Furlong's under a bit of a barrage here, but he covers it up, gets a little break for his squad. They can regroup.
Feels good to get back to 10-minute games, too, meeting with the GMs. They needing to catch up on those games. They much rather play 10-minute games rather than the 5s just to cram everything in. Gives them an opportunity both to get their scoring going and definitely to get out there and make things happen. Some of these teams are long minute teams. Like you've got Team Success. It takes them a little while to warm up, but they get going, and that's one of the reasons they're in the top 3. Battling along the boards here, Andrew and a couple of the Stealth. No subs today, or there is one sub for the Stealth. Who's sitting on the bench right now?
Gabby Olette ready to come in and do some damage here.
So Mason and Chase and
Nolan
are
out there. Nolan Gill.
Yeah, Nolan
Number
Gill.
7.
Finally, we've done our homework. We've got some stats. We've got the numbers written down, so there shouldn't be any issues. Just to catch up with you, last time that ice storm sure did a number on the game that we were covering. The Nordiques did end up winning that game. Well, that was like a month ago, and we finally got all of our wires fixed and everything. Doing some European commentary, and we're back with some brand new equipment, so we should be good for the time being.
Oh, golden opportunity. And number 3, Chase Moline pipes one for his 4th goal of the season.
Chase Moline, opportunity to shine here. You find that the Stealth usually are missing one player. They're usually down one in their skater roster. So Malcolm's, he's scratched today. Heard at game time that he actually wasn't sure there was a game going on. So he's out. So you get a little bit more ice time, a little bit more opportunity for a goal. And there's Gabby on the ice right now too. Number 8, Gabby Ouellette.
That's Xavier Berger's on puck.
And there's Sophia. Sophia started the season playing goal and has moved her way out to forward. Definitely finding that it's better to keep. I'm just stammering over my oath.
Furlong.
Yeah, better to keep Furlong in net because he is definitely a butterfly go-to guy there.
Although their record isn't that great, he's kept them in a lot of games. He's definitely their backbone of the squad.
Oh, absolutely.
On that goal, he made a gorgeous save, and there was just no one there to clear the rebound, and so boom, it was piped in there by Chase Moline.
Now, I think one of the reasons that the Whalers have chosen to face off against the Stealth instead of the Bruins this week for Game of the Week is some of the solid defense that Josh Blackman, GM of the Bruins, plays in front of Will Trist. Now, Will has a pretty good goals against average, but they play some pretty solid defense. Plus, they've got some good goal scorers too. So look for them to be heating up in the second third of the season here, coming soon. Behind the net, you've got Brett Karen and Sophia keeping the puck in.
The top teams are definitely starting to separate themselves from the bottom tier, and looks like it's going to be a very interesting set of playoffs there once we get around to it.
And once we figure out what the structure of the playoffs is going to be, that'll be even more interesting. Where we have to meet with the GMs and see what do you do with those 9 teams. You can't just do a regular playoff bracket. We're going to have to come up with something creative to see. You played well in the regular season. How much reward should you get for doing that?
We're over halfway through the game now, and there still continues to be a bit of a defensive battle here. Both teams aren't giving too many opportunities away.
You got Jacob Howarth, who got rattled pretty early in the game here playing goal. There's a big shot. Number 7, Nolan Gill.
Top shelf. Quick release. He gets that on his stick and off his stick in a heartbeat. Similar to Austin Matthews with that release.
Austin Matthews.
High praise indeed for Nolan.
Absolutely. Not much of a Leaf fan, but I'll go with you on that. Austin Matthews. Phoenix, Arizona native, if I'm not mistaken.
Arizona, yes. In Phoenix, perhaps. There's another one.
Is that Mason? I think that's Mason Applin.
Mason Applin. Number 4, Mason Applin.
I had an opportunity to talk to Mason before the game, the ladies did, and he's well-spoken. He's quite a sniper, but he knows a lot of the strategy of this game, and that's definitely important for some of these young players. He's a young player himself. A lot of this team is very young.
It's a young squad, team of the future right here.
Absolutely.
They're going to sneak up on people, hence the name, the Stealth.
Nobody sees them coming. Furlong with another frozen puck there. Beat 3 times, unlike Furlong there. Puck goes into the crowd. Tick, tick, tick. Good job.
Didn't have a chance on many of the shots. They're all grid shots. Hard, top shelf, most of them.
Now, Stealth, bottom team in the league for goals against. Bottom team in the league right now for their points. But, on paper, that's what it says. They got a lot of heart out here, and I'm definitely going to go with them to win this one. One programming note: we are without the $1 million score and win. We didn't get the clearance through our financiers.
There's another goal.
It's a good thing because we'd definitely be giving away a lot of money
Number
today.
7, Nolan Gill, having a game today.
Have the Stealth scored 4 goals all season? I don't even know.
I don't know, but if they can hang on and get the shutout extra point as well, they'll be tied with the Whalers with 5 points.
Absolutely.
2 for the win, 1 for the shutout.
2 for the win, 1 for the shutout. 2 minutes left in this game here. Tessa and Peyton making all the calls. Tessa with a little bit of an injured ankle, so she's more the linesman today, and Peyton taking responsibility for all of the pucks that drop. And there's
Brett
another one.
Cairns, the veteran for the Whalers. He's ending the shutout. He must have heard me and said, we can't give him this extra point and have them tie us in the standings. So Brett snaps one home from quite a distance.
We're pretty high up in the rafters, but our voices do kind of carry down to ice level here. It's kind of echoey in the gym, in the St. Joseph School Arena. Behind the net, you've got Andrew. Did he just pop one in? Sure looks like it. Andrew Brandt is on the board.
Andrew Brandt, look at this. The Whalers are making a late charge.
Are we 1 minute away from a comeback here? I don't know.
We could have a great finish for sure.
And don't forget that coming up next, right after this game, we've got Coach's Corner to end off our show today. Only one game, obviously, on the docket. Looking forward to seeing Ron and Don once again. I wonder,
Stealth's a very young and inexperienced team, so it'll be interesting to see how they respond here.
can they keep... Well, there's a lot of scoring, not a lot of defense. All they need to do is keep the puck deep in the Whalers' end, and we might have a win.
Great strategy. You were saying something about Ron and Don. Sorry I cut you off.
I don't even know what they're talking... Well, I mean, I seldom know what they're going to be talking about. Sometimes I don't even know what they are talking about when they are talking about it, but maybe they'll be talking about the
I don't think Don knows what he's talking about.
I'm going to have to agree with you there. But, yeah, really looking forward to them being on the show today. Oh, what a save!
That's why we have Ron with him, to keep him focused and on task and target.
I definitely get off task, focus here too, but that was one fantastic save by Mr. Furlong in between the pipes there.
Oh, a great looking play there. Nolan looking for a nice little assist there, but looks like they're going to pull it out. The Stealth with the 4-2 lead. Time is about to expire.
This is definitely a victory for their psyche. You beat Chase Furlong that many times in a game. He's one of the tougher ones to beat. I'd put him up there definitely with Carter Gustafson. I put him up there with Eric Armstrong. He may not have, fantastic goals against, but he always looks sharp.
And the traditional handshake, gotta love that. Great win for the Stealth.
Josh Blackman, GM of the Bruins. I'm not sure what he's doing. For Game of the Week, I'm Mr. Norino.
And I'm Mr. Skillen.
Thanks for watching. Keep your stick on the ice.
Coach's Corner with Ron and Don. Brought to you by Mellons. Promotional clothing and products. Locally owned, locally produced. And by St. Joseph School Parent Connections, making our school a better place.
All right, let's go. All right, Raiden, or welcome to Coach's Corner. The Stealth just defeated the Whalers, which is definitely an upset. It's only their second win of the season. Mason Appland, Nolan Gill, and Chase Moline all with goals tonight. What do you think?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think about that win for the Whaler or for the Stealth?
Well, that little Appland boy, just a little guy, he kind of reminds me of that American boy on Calgary Flames.
Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah, the Gaudreau kid.
Johnny Hockey.
Anyway, they're that little water bug. He's flying all over the place. Does a lot of good things. Scores goals, sets up goals. Yeah, I can see good things for that. They're going to get more than 2 wins this year. Good for him.
Prediction, yeah?
Yeah.
All right. You heard it. Coach's Corner.
And my predictions are usually pretty correct too.
They're usually pretty well. You know what? We got
Okay.
we got the Wheat Kings and
Let's move on.
Wheat Kings and Cruisers coming up right now. So why don't we make some predictions on that? Who takes that game? Wheat Kings or the Cruisers?
Well, I think that the Wheat Kings, my favorite hockey name besides the Mahavlich brothers. I love the Gustafson brothers. Kenora Gustafsons, Dryden Gustafsons. But you watch this this Gustafson on the Wheat Kings. Big kid. He's going to explode for a few. In fact, I think he's going to take off on this next game. You just watch him. Mark my words. You watch this kid. He's not going to let anything hold him back. He's in for to fill the net. You heard it. You heard it here from Coach's Corner. Gustafson.
You think score-wise? What do you think for a score? We're all about making predictions here on Coach's Corner. Predictions.
You know, I hate to say this, but I just have this feeling. Because I was in the losing end of a big game many years ago when at thorn in my side, Daryl Sittler potted 6 against me. Oh, you could be in for that. You never know.
6?
I know it's a stretch, but
Gustafson?
yes, that's what we're talking about. Come on, let's go.
All right, let's keep rolling. Heritage Classic coming up after Christmas. Obviously, that's a big deal around the school with students taking on the teachers. Hey, and they're even talking about bringing in the 2 good-looking guys from Coach's Corner. Would you play?
Well, I'm not even going to make a comment about that one, but would I play? Oh my goodness, I'm too old for this. You know what I could do though?
I won't argue that.
You know what I can do? I'd shuffle some lines out there. They'd probably be the good lines too. But one thing I will tell you here, there's one guy that will get benched. Anyway, and that's not a prediction.
Well, we have the Dudley Hewitt Cup coming up in Dryden, Ontario later on this year in 2018. It's going to be the first time that Dryden has hosted such an event. Obviously, they've hosted events like OFSA for hockey, but other than that, this will be the biggest event that Dryden has hosted in terms of a hockey event. Dudley Hewitt Cup hosts teams from all over Ontario. It's the Central Canadian Junior A Hockey Championships, and so we're really excited about that. What do you think about Dryden hosting that size of tournament and of that kind of caliber?
You've talked so much, I kind of forget the question, but I'm just going to throw this out there. I've heard of that league, the SIJHL, good league. I actually think there's one player on St. Louis Blues that came from that league too, that Bortuzzo guy. I think he's now playing in the NHL, so they're a good feed. Dudley Hewitt Cup, big event for a small town. Can they pull it off? Well, that Ice Dog team, they're a great team. They're second in the league, I think.
They're off to a strong start.
Strong start, yeah. Well, start, I think they're about 20 games in anyway. But they just had their All-Star game too, and once again, I hate to rant about this, but we got to think about our Canadian kids. There's another example of a U.S. All-Star team beating a Canadian All-Star team. And I don't know, and I hope I'm long dead before this happens, because I don't want to see it, but you look at these programs in the United States. Their junior hockey, their kids coming up, they seem to be beating the Canadians quite regularly, the under-17s. Now I know that you're going to say, oh, Don, Canada puts 3 teams in, we got a red team, a white team, an east, west, central. I don't care, they still beat us. We got to start doing something. I honestly think, and you know I'm a great Canadian. In fact, Canada nominated me as one of the top 10, I think. I was up there anyway.
Yep.
But I'm in fear of our hockey supremacy. Mark my words. I think we had our day. I think that country south of the border.
That's a
Well, anyway, I don't want to talk about that anymore. Let's go on something better things, more happy
bold
things.
prediction that Canada won't be too happy to hear either.
Whew. Well,
I mean, you're used to.
I'm a hockey mind. I know these things. That's why people ask me to do this. That's why I'm doing the show, and I do the thinking, and you do the asking.
Fair enough. We have the Jets and Leafs. I know you wanted to touch on both of those teams. Obviously, the Leafs coming out of the gate hot, and the Jets not so much, and now it's kind of flip-flopping a little bit.
Is it ever? Well, here's one mistake that I did make. The last time we were together, I said that, what in the world is wrong with those Jets? Loaded with talent? Maurice's job is on the line?
You did say that.
Yeah, I can remember that. I'm not that old. But look at them now. They're flying. They're flying with it. I don't know a better 1-2 combination in this league. You can talk to me about Crosby and and Malkin's Jam there, Stamkos and Kucherov.
Kucherov?
You look at Scheifele and, did I say that right?
Scheifele, yeah.
Thank you. And Wheeler. He's American, but that's okay. They are two of the best in the league, right there. Jets are they up past the Leafs yet, or are they still just behind? I think they're ahead of the Leafs in points. I think they're the top team in Canada. Yes, they are. There they go.
And the Leafs, what do you think? What is their problem? Why such the hot start? And now they've kind of plateaued and tanked a little bit.
Oh, that's Swede Nylander. I don't know what's wrong with him, but I don't know. You know, I hate to say it, but maybe he's dropped some eggs in his pockets. Doesn't like getting corners too much. He was pretty tough there earlier, a little water bug, but I don't know. Maybe the NHL's taking a toll on him.
Could be.
Now, one other thing I want to talk about.
Okay.
You know, if I wasn't an educated hockey mind, after listening to all of these hockey pundits, the Leafs, the fan radio, all that stuff down in Southern Ontario, you'd think the only player that
30 seconds.
You'd think the only player the Leafs had was Austin Matthews, because that's all I ever hear about. What about the other guys? What about Kadri? What about the little Marner guy? What about this goalie? But you know, all you ever hear about is Austin Matthews this, Austin Matthews that. Sure, he's a good player. They got a pretty good supporting cast. The other players on that team deserve a lot more credit than what they're getting. Anyway, enough of that.
That's all the time we have for today. On that note,
Really?
yep.
Huh.
Jets fly, Leafs fall. Speaking of Jets, we got a Jet. Ron and Don in Coach's Corner. Don't forget to tune in next week for the game of the week. We may or may not be here. Look for us.